Hello, everyone. This is Ibrahimul Bari, the host of Bari Paleo Talks. So today I am here with Arul. Arul is a geology student from the Central University of Tamilnadu, and he has interest in isotope geology, specifically speaking, stable and unstable isotope geology. Recently, he has completed internship at the IIT Bhubaneswar on the Zircon. Right, Arul?
Yes, I have done my
Okay.
internship in IIT Bhubaneswar.
I'm very happy to have Arul with you guys. So he will be sharing his experience on his work or internship at the IIT Bhubaneswar on the zircons. So Arul, I am handing over you the presentation. Okay, so you'll be presenting now. I'm very happy that you are here with us on our first talk on Bari Paleo Talk series. You are most welcome. You can start.
Thank you so much, Bari. Let's share our PPT. Bari, you can view my PPT, right?
Yes, I can view.
Yeah, let's start. First of all, I want to thank Bari Paleo Talks for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm also so blessed that I'm the first contestant in this Paleo Talks. And moving to my topic, like greetings to everyone, I am Arul, doing my masters in Central University of Tamil Nadu. During my internship at IIT Bhubaneswar, I was doing my project in the separation and preparation of the zircon grains. I take you to the samples, like journey of the zircons from the sample grains to the how it is dated and how we are doing the same characterization and dating it. I'm moving to my first slide, like why this zircon is actually interested and why this zircon is so important. These zircons is mostly found in in the igneous and as well as metamorphic rock as accessory minerals, and also it is highly resistant to the weathering, erosion, and transportation for the longer time. And main purpose of these zircons is it has contained incorporated uranium as in the crystal structures, which is very useful for the dating purpose, and it acts as a geological clock. More importantly, these can preserve the several stage of magmatic history and geological history for and also we can determine by the internal zonings. And finding these zircons is very difficult, like we want to find the right material for our studies, so that we are finding these zircons from the rock samples as well as in the unconsolidated samples like a beach sands. For the rock samples we are collecting as quartzites and contalite. For the fresh samples, both are the metamorphic samples, we want to collect highly weathered surface may not be present in the original rocks. So I'm saying that these rocks will be very fresh and it's not be uh, weathered rock. So we can find the good zircons in this quartz and contalite. And the second source is very important, like we are collecting these rocks in the solid samples also, which is this photograph shows where I was collected my base sand samples from my study area, which we have discussed in further slides. And also by taking these samples we want to note down where we are collecting, which the sample environment we should noted, and during our collection of sample collections. More importantly, these zircon grains, which is my study area, which is collected in the Subraneka Estuary River in the Talseri part, and also these, which is rich in very heavy minerals. Not only zircons, it contains more heavy minerals. These Subranica rivers usually contain, which is present to the Precambrian Singbam Craton, Chotanagpur Terrain. These samples not only from the single rock, like I'm saying, talking about the beach samples. It not only from the single rock, it eroded, transported from the different rocks of the zircons, which is present in these Subranica Estuary River, which I was collected my samples. And what are the challenges I faced during these studies? Like the main problem is we are not get only zircon, we will get different kind of heavy minerals. So it's like a mixture of minerals which we have grains. The real challenges is not simply collecting the samples, which we want to separate our zircons from these heavy minerals, so that we are doing the several stage of separation process, which we will discuss to further. And this is my work, workflow of my journey in the zircon grains. For for starting the rock samples and beach samples, the process of the route is different for the each, but eventually both leads to the zircon and uranium and lead uranium and lead zircon concentration and hand-picking process, which we have used in our dating process. Like we are going for the field and sample process mineral separation. In this mineral separation, we will do gravity and magnetic separation. At last, we will then we will do grain selections, which we pick only zircons from and separating the other unwanted heavy minerals. And we are going for the mounting and polishing, and then some analysis, and furtherly we are going for the LAICPMS for the dating purpose. And first we are going for that rock samples, how it is it was crushing and using for our further process. Let's first look at the rock samples. We have used quartzite and chondrite. These are the odd rock. We cannot directly separate the individual grains as like our beach sands. So we are crushing that into a small pieces, like using hammer or some other instruments. Then we are going for the milling process, like which I we are in my studies I was used for the vibratory disc mill. We have contained small chips like of quartzite and quantalite. First we are going to the quartzite rock. Then after finishing that quartzite, we are going for the quantalite rocks. These crushed pieces now, which we have collected like fine chips, which is processed in this vibratory disc mill. After the purpose of this mill is used to reduce the rock into fine grains. We already have chips. Now we are converting this into the very fine grains, and most importantly, which is individual minerals from the rock matrix. And also, once the mineral is sufficient liberated, we can separate it on their base, like physical properties, from the fine grain sediments. And now we are going for the sieving powder, sieving the fine grain materials, which I was used 80 mesh sieve for the rock samples, and I was used 120 mesh for my sand samples. For the sand samples, we don't going for the milling process or crushing process. It's already unconsolidated, so we straightly going for the drying and sieving process, which we will discuss later. Now, after the milling process, we don't simply use that powder. We will first perform with the size separation, so that we have used 80 mesh size, which is required to the grain size fraction of collected. Controlling this grain size, because it's improved the efficient for the following separation process, which we have used in hand picking process and mounting process. These mesh size will be very important. And for the route 2 for the beach sand samples, as I told previously, like we are not going for the milling and crushing process. We directly going for the drying process. We can dry this in oven, as I have done my samples in sunlight itself. I have dried for the half an hour, where the all the wet materials which is dried out. After that I was sieved it, but I was used 120 mesh size in my sand samples, because like in rock samples the grains will be very already, it is metamorphic rock, right? Our zircon grains is already broken, or it will be very small, but in the beach samples it will be a larger grain. So we can go for 120 mesh size. I was used different mesh size for the rock and for the base samples. This is the sieving I was used, which is not the ordinary sieving material. We can use this and we can throw it off, which is very useful. For that, for an ordinary mess now, we want to clean it, we want to use in oven, but this is so like one time usable. We after the use we can just throw it, so it will be very sufficient. This is the photograph which after the separation, like more than 120 and after 120, which is used in my base sand samples. Now we are going for the gravity separation. After the separating this process will be same for the rock and as well as sand samples. For the gravity separation, I was used one of the oldest material, not I have used any other instrument, like one of the oldest material, like water based gravity separation. I was poured in this container, I was poured my fine grained sediments. After that, I was poured water and stir it well and throw it the water, where the organic material, unwanted stuffs, lighter mineral, which all will be run out or removed through the water. So these process which will be repeated for the several times. One after the several times, we will only contain heavy minerals which is deposited in the lower of this container. Like, and also it will separate the different mineral based on their density also. By repeating this washing process, we gradually obtain the only heavy mineral fractions. You can see in this process, this is how we will use, like pouring water, stirring it and removing, where all the organic and lighter mineral which is washed away, only we will contain some of the heavy mineral concentration only. Next, we are going for the magnetic separation process. I was used and magnetic. After the gravity separation, our samples which will be already wet in condition. We can in this magnetic separation we can do it in a wet manner, or we can dry the sample in the sunlight. After we can use the and magnet process also. For my rocks, I didn't use magnetic like and magnet, cause it's already quartzite, so it not contain that much magnetic property. But for my heavy like beach sand, the mostly contains magnetic minerals, so that I was dried my samples in the sunlight after the gravity separation, and I used and magnet covered by the polythene cover, so it will be a contact between these minerals and the magnet. I was tapped my I was changed these minerals into the Betrides, and I was tapping them and magnet and picking out the magnetic minerals and separated into another container. At last, I will contain only heavy minerals with non-magnetic heavy minerals as zircons. Like uh, after the all the process, now we are going for the zircon concentration and hand picking process as the step of using sorry, this is the one of the most important slide. Like now we are comes as a part of recure the and picking process. Like the concentration material is placed under the binocular microscope. Before my binocular microscope, we have used some very little grains. Like we have taking from the non-magnetic petri dish, like non which we have used the sample, which we have put the sample in the petri dish. We have taking this much like very fine amount, and we have again we have put water in it, then we are stirring it, so while rotating itself, all the heavy minerals which comes in the center part of the petri dish and lighter mineral will be moved forward, so which is very helpful for finding the zircons under the binocular microscope. So under the binocular microscope we will use our physical properties of the zircons, like morphology, color, transparency. By that we can find the zircons, and we are uh, uh, using the fine needle to picking the process. Individual grains are actually carefully separated from the other minerals, and this where the microscope really becomes the important, because we are no longer separated the bulk materials. I have how I was collecting, I was using needle and a syringe with the tube. So I was picking all the zircons from these petri discs, and using the binocular microscope, I separated the one part. Then I was used the syringe with the tube, and I picked out and separated into another container. Like this, I have separated morely nearly to the 400 grains of only zircons by the hand picking process. And this is the binocular stereo microscope which is I was used in my studies, and this is the syringe with the tube which is used for picking the zircon grains, and needle which I was used. Now we are going for the final purification of the zircons. After collecting these 400 zircons, but while picking out, while pumping these zircons, we will mistakenly collect another material also, like fibers, some other grains also we will include it, and we will transfer that into these container. So then we are going for the final purification, like again we have taken the 400 grains into the binocular microscope. Then we are using the needle and separating the unwanted material, and finally we will get only pure 400 zircon grains, other will be separated out. Then we are going for the mounting and
Arul,
polishing process.
Arul, Arul,
Ah, yeah, yeah.
you are getting 2 more minutes to finish. I hope you can finish
Okay,
within two
okay, I will.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, I will run. Then, sorry for like it's going. It's so interesting. That's why I'm taking you with the journey. So now we are going for the zircon array and pick like for the mounting process. From the 400 grains, we are picking only 150 grains. Like we have used double side tape and pasted it. Then we are going for the epoxy mounting. We are using the epoxy resin on honor with the ratio of 7:1 ratio. And we are mixing it and pouring in our double-sided tape as in this picture. Then we will get our mount like this. Finally, our zircon will be transferred this into the this mount, and then we are now going for the polishing process. For the polishing, I was used for the Loboforce 50 machine. First, I was going for the 10 micrometer polishing sheet for the initial surface preparation, then 5 micrometer. Then I'm going for the alumina suspension and diamond polishing. These are the process which comes under the polishing process. Like this is the sheet I was used for 10 micrometer and 5 micrometer, and this is the photography which is taken during the polishing in the machine. And for the alumina machine, I was used grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, these liquids, and using my hand, like by hand, we are polishing it. We did not use any other machines. And by that, while doing this, each after grade 1, we want to go into the microscope. We want to see whether scratches are removed. These are the pictures which I was took after the grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. You can see grade 3. We can see like the scratches was removed very well. Our zircons were exposed from the mounting. Lastly, we have used diamond polishing. Like this is the last for the polishing material. We have used ultra lab diamond component, and last the surface pictures. And then we are going for the some characteristics. While the picking, we didn't use any other instruments, like we want to finalize this is exactly zircon. While collecting, we can sometimes we will take uh, uh, other mineral also which is look same like zircon. So finding whether this is correct exactly zircon, we are going for the SEM analysis. The upper image is the BSc image, BSc image, and this is the CL image. For BSc image, we are going for the compositional contrast inclusion is there in the zircon grains. For the CL image, we are going for the growth zonings. We can see clearly. You can see the three different kind of zoning in this zircon grains. Then we are going for the EDS, scanning depth. see in the EDS we can see the elemental grains. First elemental which is present in our grain. Then we finalize this is the zircon. So we can go for the LAICPMS process. From the LAICPMS, how this zircon is data, like we know that it contains uranium in the crystal structure. After these, when it started to decay, it will lead will be known the red. By using the LAICPMS for the in situ
Arul, you will get only
uranium
one
and
minute.
lead analysis, we can find. Yeah, I will conclude soon. We will find the crystallization age also. Um, Finally, the history of sediments, the magmatic history, and crystal evolution, and what are the happened in like different crystal zoning. We can find what is happened in the magmatic evolutions. At last, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank OK Singh sir, assistant professor, who is my guide and coordinator. She guide me in the IIT Bhubaneswar. Thank you so much, the OK Singh sir, and lab mates and PhD scholars who helped me to do my internship. Thank you, Pari, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Okay,
Done.
that was wonderful. That was wonderful and fantastic. So, Arul, you have given an excellent presentation, and your work is very excellent. Like I liked it because you have attached so many pictures. But one thing you should add also is that the number of pages on the pictures. Okay, you can remember it. Add the number of
Yeah.
pages.
Actually, I
Okay,
forgot.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
sure,
very
sure,
good.
sure.
I liked it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
this is for now today. Thank you so much, Arul. And if you have any
Thank you
question, you
so
can
much.
contact me via email or Arul. Okay, then we can answer your questions. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you,
sure,
everyone, for watching.
sure.